This is a mouse made for gamers by gamers. This is the Razer DeathAdder V2. All my mouses before this one have been Dell mouses that have come with my PC. I built my first computer many years ago, and I've just been using Dell keyboard and mouse since then, but guess what? My right click started dying, so I decided to buy a mouse. I've known about Razer for, I don't know, 6 to 8 years or something, and finally got one. And it is the nicest mouse I have ever used in my entire life, and I will never go back to any cheap crap mouse. The button clicking is so nice. You barely have to touch it before it activates, like the slightest amount of pressure, and it's activated. And how it does it is with lasers. It's not a normal mouse where you pushing it down is actually making a connection and making an electrical circuit. It's pushing it down, making a laser be able to go through and reach a sensor. But it still has some sort of a switch in it, so you have feedback knowing that you clicked it, but it just takes hardly any effort. It's so nice. Razer mice, because of their laser switches, they claim to last over 70 million clicks. To put that in perspective, a normal Dell mouse or other stock cheap computer brand mouse is usually around 10 to 20 million clicks. So this mouse is not only better than any mouse you will ever use, it will last you way longer. One of the nicest parts of gaming mice is they have side buttons. I could never use a Naga because I'd never be able to tell where 9 or 12 buttons were, but 2, very easy to figure out. Honestly, after using this for a little bit, I could probably use a couple more buttons than 2, but 2 is a very good start. You get 2 thumb buttons. Being a mouse made for games, it's meant for high FPS games, flinging the mouse all over the place, so they made it very smooth on the bottom. So first off, it's very smooth, but you notice these 2 white spots on it. These white spots actually are raised up from the rest of the bottom of the mouse. That decreases friction of the mouse, making it easier to move across the mouse pad, because instead of having this entire surface area, now you only have this little piece and this little piece for surface area. And on top of that, these pieces are super low friction material, so it makes it incredibly easy to flick across your mouse pad. On top of that, it weighs 86 grams. That's one of the lightest mouses ever. So if you're someone who picks up your mouse to move it across the screen, it weighs hardly anything. So it's very easy to pick it up and move it. If you're one of those people who pick up your mouse and move it, there's little grip spots. You can kind of see it there on the inside and outside for your thumb and one of these last 2 fingers. So you get extra grip there to hold the mouse, to move it, to fling it. You have a really good grip on it. When a good mouse comes to mind, the cable is not something you think about. But in this mouse, it is noticeably better. It's a speed flex cable is what Razer calls it. It's super flexible, so it doesn't get caught on anything. The cord is not restricting your mouse movement. Also, it has lights. I mean, RGB, come on. It's a very ergonomic design. You can see it's tilted. It's tilted sideways because your hand actually wants to be more sideways than it does flat. It's a little bit bigger than a lot of mice, so if you have a bigger hand, most of your hand can actually be on the mouse at that point, instead of having like just your fingers or it's part of it on the mouse. The buttons here are to change your sensitivity going up and down. This thing can go up to 20,000 DPI, which is like just the tiniest movement, and it's across the screen. I don't know why you need that, but it's kind of cool being able to change your sensitivity and customize it through Synapse and have different profiles. You could be using a very high sense for something, but maybe you want to scope in and press the button to slow down and get super accurate shots. I think the only thing weird about this mouse is the grooves for the left and right click. They make your fingers spread more than you want. They want your fingers here when I kind of want them here. Razer Synapse is the app that you can customize the lights and change your buttons and such, so you can program these buttons to do stuff, which is really awesome. Super helpful for editing, for Warzone, for other games. You can change the color lights, you can do fancy spectrum cycling, you can do other fancy lighting effects. I just like the static. You can change your sensitivity, you can change your keybinds, you can even make different profiles with different keybinds and lighting and all that kind of stuff. I am very impressed with this mouse. It is amazing, so much better than anything else I've ever used before. I definitely recommend getting a Razer mouse if you're running on some cheap, crappy mouse. I'm not paid by Razer to say any of this, I just really like their product. I've been so impressed with this mouse the last few weeks that I had to make a video on it. It is amazing. So, if you like this one, share with a friend. And if you want to see gaming videos that I make, hit subscribe. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.